Like when I upload, I have to do them myself as well because like subtitling takes time. It depends on the length of the video, but it takes like anywhere from 6 to 10 hours to subtitle. I'm hyped for like future VR stuff though, and like AR stuff. Like when it comes to that kind of stuff, I cannot wait to get my hands on something that's like brain interface controlled.
Why are they the creepiest company? Facebook is so
Mark
creepy.
Zuckerberg's a lizard man. Have you seen him? He stares into your soul. He shows no emotion. And it's got social credit. Any like little wrongdoing can be put in your social credit. And if you have a low social credit, you can't get things like jobs.
What do you think your social credit score is?
When I was watching earlier today, it struck me that what you're doing on YouTube is the natural evolution of America's Funniest Home Videos.
Everybody in the WildSpartanz universe has like a reasonably big personality. How do you balance that?
Hey, welcome to the Create Unknown, the home of Make Something Mean Something. I am Kevin Lieber. It is TCU night. Welcome. Wednesday night, 6 p.m. Eastern. We are here live on Discord with all of our patrons, our $2 tots, our dumpster crew, our infantry, our amazing, illustrious baby gang. And with me, as always, is Matthew Tabor.
Yeah, this is a good one. The snow is melting. I'm in good spirits. I didn't even need to drink an energy drink before this show. That's how rare a day it is. And what is this, episode 81? I think I've had 80 energy drinks pre-TCU recording. So, no, I feel good. And as we have in the last few weeks, really briefly want to shout out a quick thanks to Electro Voice for tossing us a couple microphones. I'm still on the RE20. I said last week that I was going to switch to the 320 and see what was different on it. But I like this so much that it's hard to swap it out. Kevin, are you still on RE20 as well?
Yeah, I'm happy with it. It works. It sounds good. The reviews are in from people listening saying that it sounds better than what we were using before. So yeah. I'm really happy with it. No problems whatsoever. So yeah, thank you to them, and that they're providing the silky smooth pathway from our mouths to your ear holes.
That's right. Yeah, and John Swan did a stream the other day about mics and audio and all of that stuff, and is testing out his RE22. He's pretty thrilled with it so far. So there'll be a little more on that later. But it's nice to be able to talk about something without them making us say things. They don't tell us to be nice. We just are because it's good. But this week we have a new guest. As a consequence of the economy's changes due to COVID-19, it's projected that white-collar knowledge workers will see significant job growth in coming years. No one cares, and we certainly don't. We'd rather talk to WildSpartanz because he gets paid to hang out with his friends. If Guy Fieri travels the country stuffing burgers in his face at diners, drive-ins, and dives, then WildSpartanz traverses the internet stuffing cringe, strange, and cursed content into his face, and thank God we all get to see it. He will watch videos that have 0 views, tragically popular commercials, weird videos, and his commentary over them and his banter with his friends has all earned him over 130 million views on YouTube alone. He's often joined by a gang of co-conspirators, some of whom we've had on the Create Unknown, such as KingAni, Weast, collab with Sumito Media. And the list includes Macro Bisley, formerly the Loudmouths podcast with FPS Diesel, and quite, there are too many to name. And it's always a session that's part watching and part feeling like you're just hanging out with these people. So some of WildSpartanz's best videos are looking at the most bizarre things for sale on Amazon. As a connoisseur of Amazon cringe, what is the one weird Amazon product to rule them all?
Oh, that's a question to jump on. There's a lot. One of the weirdest, probably worm beef jerky or like worm jerky, like dried worm jerky. Yeah, I actually have the bag in my kitchen and I'm waiting to do another one to eat it.
So Tom in our episode chat is probably going to be quick with the links here, and I am interested to see what this product is.
Yeah, it's like dried earthworm jerky. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Wow. Well, I assume you've eaten it, right?
I have not. I'm doing it in the next video that I'm doing on Amazon products. Yeah, because we did some stupid like goal of 50,000 likes, like one of the first ones, and then it hit it. So now I have to eat the jerky.
Yes. So. Well, this has one review, and that one review is 5 stars. So I think it's going to be great.
I mean, I'm looking for a treat, like earthworm jerky.
And apparently it's out of stock.
Yeah, that's probably just because they don't make a lot. I don't think there's a huge demand for, earthworm jerky. I don't think someone wakes up in the morning and is like, oh, I need my morning earthworm jerky,
Oh, God. It's one guy just going out in his backyard with a flashlight at night after it rains, just grabbing the worms out of the ground.
I don't want to think of them just being like the ones that are just dried up on the pavement. I'd rather think of processed and handled like food, but
the brand is called Meat Maniac. And I'm not quite sure there's like a more apt brand name in the world than a company called Meat Maniac, who will literally make earthworm jerky.
They also make like a bunch of other stuff. It's not just earthworm jerky. Like I'm just looking at it now. They have like crickets and stuff. Have you guys ever had like a chocolate covered ant before?
No.
They're not it's just chocolate. It's not worth it. They just taste like chocolate. Because the ants are so small, you don't taste them.
Ants are not meaty.
Yeah.
Like, what is in an ant? It's just like a little shell, right? What could it possibly have in there that tastes like anything?
I mean, they don't have brains. That's for sure. I don't know, actually, what's in an ant.
I don't know. Just goop, I guess. Ant goop, right?
They have so I was reading about ant brains just last week. They have a nervous system that has 250,000 functioning neurons.
That's insane for their size.
It is, and similar things have. I mean, a frog has 6 million or some crazy thing. Like an elephant has 19 billion or something. So 250,000 is not much, but it's more than zero, which I didn't realize. And when I was looking for this, which I can't even remember why I started on it, but you know how Google suggests or shows other people have searched for this?
Yeah.
The top one was, do ants fart? A lot of people are thinking about this, about whether ants fart.
But do they fart? Do ants fart?
It depends on what you consider a fart.
But do they technically fart? Do they pass gas?
I'm stumbling on this, okay, because there's something to stumble on.
I thought you received an official answer on this from your ant friend.
I did, who patron of our show. The guy who runs the Ant Lab is out of North Carolina, and he said that there's a type of ant that squeezes out a venomous foam. So that's kind of a shart, right? This is what I'm thinking.
I mean, my sharks aren't venomous, though. I think that's a little different.
Are they foamy?
I mean, okay, they're not foamy either. Let's get that clear. My sharks are neither foamy or venomous, all right?
I was going to be a little bit concerned about that.
It's what, your guys' poop isn't foamy?
So how did you find this? So because you said it was for an upcoming video.
Oh, beef jerky?
How did? Yeah,
the worm jerky.
A Twitter thing.
So I found it in the Amazon video, and I made a thing of if we get 50K likes in this video, we'll eat the worm jerky on video, and we did. So next video, I'm going to do that. But how I find the products in general, it's trying to trick the Amazon recommendation algorithm to give me weird stuff. So it's basically thinking of a weird thing. And then looking for it, clicking it, and then going down the rabbit hole of recommendations. So it's kind of a process.
Do you have an account that's not your personal account that you use to buy video games and toilet paper or whatever? Do you have a special account just for looking up weird stuff? So that it doesn't mess with the algorithm?
I have a separate account just for looking up weird stuff, which I have not purchased anything on. I always purchase stuff on my main Amazon. So
okay.
I also use Wish for ideas because sometimes Wish products will be on Amazon, and then I can search them and find them because Wish has a lot more weird stuff than Amazon, but Amazon's better for the title. So
right.
And this is on your normal account or a separate
This
one?
is
I forgot what you
the
said.
things I use to find everything is on a separate account, and the where I buy them is just my
Okay.
normal Amazon.
Have you
Oh,
bought
okay.
things
All right, that's
other
fair.
than the earthworm jerky?
I bought a couple things. I bought a chicken leg pillow, which was like not worth it because it took like 3 months
What?
to get here, and it was like $30. So it must have been on some freight from China or something. And I bought a fridge sticker that says Ted. This man ate my son, and it's just Ted Cruz.
What?
That's a good
Yeah.
sticker as far as stickers
Well, it's not a
go,
sticker;
yeah.
it's a magnet. My bad. But yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Also, Tom is
Yeah.
on it. Oh my god.
Is that the right one? Is that
yeah.
the right?
No, I bought it off Amazon, but it's the right one.
Wow, it's big, but it's cheap. It's like $3, and it's a torso-sized
Oh,
chicken
this
drop.
is way more. This is not what you get. It's like a throw
It
pillow.
looks awesome.
They used a very small person for that picture. It is a throw pillow.
They've got a sausage, they've got a wing, they've got some kind of fish, and a big shrimp. Yeah, it does look really impressive, like something the size of your chest.
It has
And
not been impressive.
You're saying
at
they
all. That is a,
they used a
that is a
very
small
tiny
person.
You know, it looks like a doll. Actually, it looks to me.
Oh, you know
Like
what? That
that's
is
not
that
a
is
real
not
human.
a person. So it's even smaller
it's a
than a
mannequin.
person.
They have a miniature mannequin to make their fake chicken wing pillows look bigger. That's serious deception.
Yeah, this,
False advertising.
did you guys know on Amazon you can switch the product without like the reviews disappearing?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
that's absurd.
yeah. That happened to me just a few days ago. I went to repurchase a product that I'd bought in the past, and it was something really mundane, like an HDMI cable or something like that. And it showed the order, and it was like to a pair of headphones or something. And I was like, what? All of the feedback here is all about this other item, but they kept, I don't know if it's an item ID or what. But yeah, they pulled a real switcheroo, a lot of trickery on the Amazon.com.
Yeah, Amazon's gotten a lot worse over the last like couple years, I'd say. Like it's become a lot harder to discern like what's legit and what's not legit. Like Amazon used to be like trusted, but now it's like you kind of got to like double check everything you're buying to make sure it's like not some knockoff or something or like a switch product.
There's also this weird Amazon scam that I don't know if either of you have fallen prey to this, but there have been a couple of times over the years where I'll receive something from Amazon that I most certainly did not order. And I will call Amazon and let them know like, hey, and it won't have my name on it. I should specify that. Like
That's
my name
really
is not
weird.
on it.
That's
It's
really
just,
weird.
There's no name. It's just in my mailbox. And I open it up and it's like crochet needles or something completely random. And the first time this happened to me, I just threw the thing away and was like, that was weird. This time I called Amazon's customer service and I was like, hey, I got this thing. What is that all about? And she explained to me that it's some scam. There's some scam where people will buy things and just send them wherever to like a random address. And then they do something to try to get a gift card or like a balance for returning the thing. And so somehow they're like scamming Amazon into giving them like Visa gift cards or something like that by just ordering stuff to random locations.
That's so weird. I've never had that happen. And like when you said scam at first, I was like, how is it a scam if you're getting free stuff, right? But like they're scamming Amazon?
They're scamming Amazon. Yeah, they don't care about the thing.
That's so weird.
They're just trying to get the money for the return of the item or something like that.
Yeah, I've never heard. That's the first time I've heard of that. That's so strange. Because like, I mean, Amazon typically has a no questions asked policy for returns, so I guess it makes sense. Like they just they just throw the returns into a pile and then sell them in bulk because they're like they can't be asked. They make a bunch of money anyways, and the return level isn't high enough to warrant like checking the packages. So
yeah, I think the problems are more expensive to fix than they are to just shoot the thing out the door.
yeah, because you got
it's like
because you got to have an
expensive
employee
thing.
review the product, make sure it's the same product, check why it's broken, classify why it's broken. It makes more sense to just chuck them in a corner and then sell them in bulk and then make some of your money back.
Who do they sell them in bulk to?
There's like liquidation sites you can go to that sell like bulk items of like things that have been returned, and you can buy them and it has like list of like why they were returned and things like that. People often buy those and resell them in hopes that like most of the products are either fixable or not actually broken.
Oh my God.
That is
That's like its own little cottage industry.
Yep.
This is what we're all going to be doing when YouTube dries up.
I know. Well, look, there's another cottage industry of the Wish app as well, because my wife has seen stuff on Wish app that sometimes it's literally free, like not even joking, free. Like the shipping is free. You could just say like, I want this thing, and they'll send it to you, like jewelry and stuff. So there's stuff on Wish that you can get for like 50 cents plus no shipping, or sometimes literally free. And she'll often see that stuff on Etsy marked up to like, $30 or something like that.
That's wild.
So
for the free thing.
You just get free things, then resell the free things?
You can. She won a $200 coffee table for 75 cents on the Wish app.
Was it really a $200 coffee table though? Was it really a $200 coffee table?
Even if it's a $100 coffee table,
I mean,
it was
obviously
75 cents.
A coffee table is worth more than 75 cents. It was not a
50-cent coffee table.
Yeah. That's
was
so
it nice
weird.
though? I mean, I imagine you've got it by now, right? Did it show up?
It's in our living room. Yeah, we use it.
So I've seen that coffee table.
Yeah, that was 75 cents from the Wish app.
No, yeah. So that's a perfectly fine coffee table. Like you wouldn't look at that and be like, "Oh, that's some seriously bargain price."
Bro, I'm gonna have to get on the Wish app. Jesus,
coffee table. No, that's nice. That's amazing.
You just get free shit.
Weird.
What?
Yeah, I don't know what it's called because she uses it. I don't really use it. I don't have the app, but they do something where essentially they just have to get rid of this stuff.
Oh, that makes more sense. If they're just trying to get rid of it, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, like it's going on the container to America anyway. I guess it's worth it to them to get 75 cents for.
Or maybe
I don't really know.
Maybe
it's
they
crazy.
like ship stuff in bulk, and then like they're like, okay, we got extra room. What do we get rid of in the warehouse that we haven't sold in like forever, and they just ship it out with it.
Just fill the container.
Yeah.
We gotta fill this thing.
Yeah, I'm sure they got stuff they want to get out of their warehouse, like Amazon Prime Day. It's literally them just being like, okay, this is the stuff no one wanted to buy this year. Who wants it? We need to clear our warehouses.
Oh, yeah. Look, Baseweight's in the chat right now and mentioned, they're flash sales. They're 2-minute flash sales. And he saw a full-size electric guitar for 50 cents.
Oh, my God. That's something I should just lurk on. Like, something interesting might pop up. 2 minutes?
You could make on this.
You could make a good video that's like, what can I get for $10?
Ooh, that is a nice idea.
Yeah, or even less, like $5. If these items are 50 cents, you could buy 10 crazy things for $5.
That's so absurd. Dude, I cannot imagine. Like, that's such a huge package, too, for like a coffee table for 75 cents. Yeah. Like, the shipping must have cost at least $20 for a coffee table.
Yeah. The rates, so shipping from China to the U.S., China has a designation basically as a preferred shipping partner with the U.S. This is a point of contention with American companies because they have to pay, Postal Service or FedEx or UPS, and it's not cheap. Kevin and I have both been sending some things recently, and it's ridiculously expensive to send anything of any size.
Yeah.
But these companies based in, Shenzhen and other places have these super cut rate shipping things. And that's why you can go on Wish and pay like 89 cents for shipping for something that's like 14,000 miles away.
Yeah, they also ship them on like huge freight ships. So it's like way cheaper. Usually like FedEx and UPS and stuff do air travel because it's just faster. So
yeah,
if you're shipping out a ship, I'm sure it's just dirt cheap. They can hold a lot.
So this is like the rabbit holes you go down in your videos where you start with a thing and it just seems to roll into another thing and then another one and another one. And eventually you're in a pretty strange spot.
Yeah, basically. Like, you know how like the YouTube rabbit hole, you like click a weird video and you click another weird video and you keep going down and down and eventually you just get like some strange stuff recommended. It's like the same thing. It works pretty much the same way.
But I feel like very few people can pull that off.
I mean, the rabbit hole? No.
Making the rabbit hole interesting to go along with.
Oh, you gotta look for a long time.
Anybody can sit down.
You gotta look for a long time.
To get a compelling thing.
Yeah, I spend like probably like two-ish hours like looking the day before recording for it, just finding stuff because I need to like get it beforehand because if I don't, the recording's gonna be like 4 hours long of us just trying to find things. So
I suppose you'd have to kind of pre-screen. And
Yeah, I have to pre-screen like pretty much everything. Videos with 0 views though is different. There's a website that you go to for it, which is like a lot easier because finding videos with 0 views is like virtually impossible. It's called astronaut.io, and you just go on the website and it cycles through videos that have had 0 views and have like a title fitting something that hasn't been like set as a title. So it's all just stuff with 0 views. Like when I'm recording that, like it's hit or miss because like sometimes they're good, sometimes they're literally just family basketball games, and it's like because people upload these personal moments publicly on YouTube, and the bot finds them because it's 0 views and it has a generic title, and then it plays it, and I'm like, okay, we don't care about your kid's hockey game, the basketball game, or the soccer game. I want to see dumb shit. I have to wait for it.
That's exactly what played when I went to astronaut.io and clicked the things, and the second one that popped up was like a GoPro clearly mounted on the fence behind home plate at like a school baseball game.
Yeah, that is undeniably the most common thing you'll see is like family gathering stuff. So you'll also see a lot of kids doing dumb shit. Obviously, not going to put that in videos because kids have no idea what they're doing.
Right. When I saw that you had this series of looking at videos with 0 views, my eyes lit up because I pitched this as a show 4 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And this afternoon I went through my emails and I was like, I know that I pitched a show where, like Michael, Jake, and I would watch videos that have 0 views and be the first people to ever watch these videos. And the problem back then was finding them.
Yeah.
Finding compelling videos or even finding any videos that had 0 views.
You can
astronaut.io did not exist.
Yeah, you can find stuff without using the website. I think having it random though is better because then I don't see the videos either, right? Because usually when I curate content, I look for the stuff first and then I show it to people and then we use the dynamic we have to like mesh it into content. But like on YouTube, if you go to if you just search Minecraft on YouTube and then you go to the filter section, you can just organize it by upload date and it will give you all of like the newest stuff. Actually, hold up. Upload date and then last hour. There you go. And then you can find a lot of stuff that has near 0 views if you just put in the search term and look for it.
Oh, that makes sense.
What I'm seeing happen is you have clearly stolen Kevin's idea and he's confronting about it, confronting you about it on this podcast right now.
That's right.
Your idea was too good to pass up, dude. And it's been 4 years and I haven't seen it. So I just took the liberty.
Yeah. I think the statute of limitations expires after 4 years on an idea.
Yeah, I think it expires after like 6 months. But
it expired 2 days afterwards when it never actually became a series and just stayed in an email.
Yeah. Never to be seen again. And then somehow I found that email and I knew.
I know. You hacked
and how did
my dong video ideas email.
Dong. No, there has never been a channel called Dong. It has always been
Ding.
It's always been Ding. Yes. Never anything else.
It's one of those mandala effect things. Yeah.
Is it pronounced Mandala? Or I thought it was Mandela.
Mandela?
I think it's Mandela, yeah.
Nelson Mandela?
He invented it, yes. How did you land on this type of stuff? Like when we did the little introduction, like really, we're quite serious about this. Like you hanging around with your friends is compelling content. How come? Well, no, how did that start? But why can't everybody do this? Why can't everybody turn on a stream with the people they're having a really good time with and make it work?
I mean, they probably could if they tried. I mean, it's all up to like how good the personalities blend in a video. How do you edit it? Because I do subtitles to keep up audience retention. Because they'd be pretty boring if it was just like the Discord icons flashing. And if like subtitles weren't there, I don't think people would keep watching. So I do subtitles for that reason. But the main way I landed this kind of content was because like back when I first started YouTube, when I was a wee little boy at like 12 years old, I did gaming content. And this was the kind of formula I was already doing, right? So it was just stuff with your friends and having fun. And so I've done this before. And then later on, when I was doing commentary stuff, I wanted to stop doing commentary stuff. So I saw a channel called Soot House pop up. And I was like, oh, they make some really cool stuff. And I was like, I want to do that. So I started doing a very similar thing, and I used Discord because I felt like it just felt the most natural. Like it feels kind of comfy because like most people use Discord now. So that's why I picked it to use Discord. Also, like nothing else really would have worked, right? And Discord already had this perfect layout where it shows your icon, it popping up. I can block the buttons at the bottom. It just made the most sense. And since I already did this kind of content before, like when I was like 14, I was doing gaming funny moments on like CSGO and stuff, and I would subtitle it. So like I've already done subtitles before, and I already know how to do subtitles and make them match up and things. So it was just that, really. It was just kind of like, oh, this makes sense, and I want to do it. So.
How do you do the subtitles? Because the way that you do them is really entertaining.
Painstaking labor. Painstaking labor. I have a subtitler now, but when I uploads and I do more, I have to do them myself as well because like subtitling takes time. So literally, it's just getting a template of the subtitle in Premiere, and then just pasting it along where people speak, cutting it to where they say words, and then manually typing in all the words. There's no automatic process, no nothing like that. You have to do it all manually. So,
yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy that there's no like After Effects plugin yet that exists for subtitles.
I thought
match,
the same thing when I was 13. I'm like, people do this manually, and there still hasn't been anything to like replace it. It's probably because it's just a bot can't really get it right all the time, and you would have to double check it anyways. And like manually syncing it too is like a lot better than I think if a bot did it, because a bot probably wouldn't do like a good job, because like it's not just like, oh, when this word's said, usually you do it a little bit before the start of the word, and like a bot would probably have a harder time with that. But yeah, I wish there was a bot that was capable. I really wish there was, because it takes like, it depends on the length of the video, but it takes like anywhere from 6 to 10 hours to subtitle.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's so much longer than I figured.
Yeah.
I figured 3 or 4.
I mean, you can do it in 3 or 4 if it's shorter and there's less speaking, but like if the video is like jam-packed with people talking, it takes longer.
The AI on this stuff is just not that strong at this point. Like, we transcribe every episode. So part of the process that we have with making that highlight clip to intro an episode, you got to find those clips. It's nightmarish if you don't have a transcript. So we run it through a service called Otter, and that generates a rough transcript, and you can kind of control F phrases that stick out and get a timestamp and go from there. But the actual translation is never very good. Like the services like Rev actually have human translation. These people listen to the audio and transcribe it to get that 99+% accuracy. But the straight up AI is just hilariously bad. Like we've had transcripts that just look like Mad Libs that like a group of 30 people filled out.
Yeah, it's just not good. I mean, it's probably just because most people have like a different tone of voice, and the way they speak is all like slightly different. So like AI has a pretty hard time figuring it out. Like certain accents are like a lot harder for like Siri or like Alexa to pick up. So also, like, is your guys' Siri also terrible if you guys have iPhones? Is your Siri brain dead?
Kevin, you have an Android, right?
Yeah. And I don't do the talk to robot thing.
I just want to set a timer, man.
Like
That's all I want. It's so brain dead. Siri cannot hear me for shit. I'll say, "Hey Siri" 1,000 times. She won't respond. I've checked my settings so many times to see if like the setting's on, and it is every time. It's a nightmare.
I did it once. I use Amazon service, which I won't name because it will set off the little device in front of me, and I don't want it to do that. But like I use that one to control lights and things like that. But Siri is, I don't use it because the one time I did, for some reason, it thinks I'm like an old woman. I forget what the question is, but like somewhere I put my data in, and apparently selected the wrong gender or something. So, Siri thinks I'm like an old woman who likes recipes. And I don't understand it.
Does Siri just chime in and being like, "Hey, you wouldn't love this lasagna recipe," like after you ask something?
It was like that. It was
Gladys
like that. I got like Ethel. But yeah, I none of those things are really that good. Like the the stuff that turns lights on and off. That's actually pretty simple.
Yeah.
That's that's like an A and B kind of thing, and I can see that working. But when it goes beyond that, no, just nothing is there yet.
Yeah, like,
but that also makes it funny.
Yeah, I mean, like, basic questions like are really effective. Like just asking, like, hey, can you turn this light on? Can you turn it off? Can you turn like the TV on? Stuff like that is really good. Also, like math. Like sometimes I'll ask just do math problems, and it's like it does it pretty well. But like anything beyond that, it just gets really confused. Like I'll ask it a question about itself, like an Amazon thing, and it won't be able to answer. Like I'll be like, hey, can you tell me how to do this thing? And it's just like, sorry, there's nothing on the web for that. And I'm like, you're the device. How do you not know how it works? Like, I shouldn't have to Google questions about the device. There should be like baked in answers.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's like why Google it when it's right here and it talks? Like,
you know, for Amazon too, you have to unlock. Like, I forget what the name of the pack is, but like if I ask my device right now to make fart sounds, it won't do it.
Oh, really?
But there's but there's like a skill that you enable in the Amazon Echo store. Yeah, because they call all their things skills. So there's a skill that has, you know, like dirty jokes and farts and stuff like that. Like unlocks 18 plus mode.
Hello, I have unlocked the fart skill. Just some dumb shit.
Yeah. It's like learning a new ability for a Pokemon. It evolved.
Alexa has evolved. Now can fart.
There's a video, the craziest skills for Alexa.
I mean, you just activated it. I saw you reach over to stop it.
Yeah, I reached over and muted him.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm tired of dancing around this. I want to just say this thing's name.
The magic words.
At least Google's like really easy to avoid saying, because like you can say like the Google Home and it won't activate it. It won't activate it.
Yeah. Nobody's saying "Hey Google" out of the blue.
Yeah,
like they may mention Google a lot, but if it doesn't have that "Hey" before it, it's not going to trigger.
Yeah, or okay,
and
Google.
So, yeah, if your name is Alexa, what the hell?
Yeah,
like you clearly have to change
Alexa's
this.
not an uncommon name, you know. Like there are many people named that.
They might as well have just called it Jim.
I think that would be
Bill.
way funnier. They'd be like, hey Jim, turn a timer.
Turn off the lights, Jim.
Yeah.
You know that I'm one of the few people who actually tried Google Glass.
Yo, tell me about that.
Does anybody even remember that
Tell me
anymore?
about Google Glass. I saw that stuff when I was a wee little boy, and I thought that was the coolest shit ever. And then I grew up for 2 years, and I'm like, that thing was so dumb. But I want to hear about Google Glass. Tell me about Google Glass.
Yeah, no, man, it's funny. Yeah, when you were a wee lad, I was working in an office in LA, and one of the guys there, as part basically of his job at Google, was to wear the Google Glass full time. I don't remember this guy's name anymore.
Well, he's really offended by that.
Andy Lack. I think it was Andy Lack. You could probably Google Andy Lack. I don't know what he's up to these days.
Sounds like Andy Lack didn't get a Christmas card this year.
No. Andy
Lack is the chairman of MSNBC. That was really hard for me to say for some reason. And he's 73 years old.
Yeah, it's definitely not him. Okay. No, I'm just pulling names out of a hat at this point. It's definitely not
just
that
say
guy.
Google
Okay,
guy.
I don't remember the guy's name. Anyway, so of course, one day I'm like, hey, let me try your Google Glass. And it was not good. It was not a great thing. Like, it's quite obvious why it didn't work. It was just kind of weird to have this thing, over your eye, and it wasn't very responsive. It was hard to get it to do what you wanted it to, and you had to talk to it. So, you're talking to your glasses. It seemed like such a cool idea, but in practical terms, it was not good. It was just not good.
Was the display just awful?
The display's really small, yeah, and like I also wear prescription lenses. I wear glasses anyway, so it's not fun putting the Google Glass over your actual glasses.
Yeah, that sounds like a pain.
And it's just this little tiny square, kind of like in the corner of one of your eyes, that where you can kind of see the screen of the thing, and yeah, it was slow. And you have to repeat things to it. I mean, imagine how much you have to repeat to Siri or whomever in 2021. Now, subtract 7 years or whatever. I don't know when Google Glass
that
was, but it
sounds
was
awful.
a while ago.
That sounds awful. I'm not surprised because like when I first saw it, I was like, oh, this is really cool. But like obviously it was an alpha product. Like there's no way that product was going to go anywhere like in the short term. It'd be like more of a long-term investment to make this thing like an actual product at one point. I'm hyped for like future VR stuff though, and like AR stuff. Like when it comes to that kind of stuff, I cannot wait to get my hands on something that's like brain interface controlled, something like that. Like did you see the interview with Gabe Newell on IGN? He talked briefly about the future of VR, and he talks about how brain interfaces are going to be the future of it. And if you're not looking into it as a company, you're going to go under. That's what he said. Basically, I'm paraphrasing, but I thought that was
really?
super cool.
Like Elon Musk's mesh thing?
You mean Neuralink?
Yeah.
So
like the neural.
He said that basically VR, like brain interface controlled VR, is the future, and if you're not looking into it as an entertainment company, you're doomed. That's basically what he said. I'm obviously paraphrasing, but I believe it. Like that stuff is going to be the future because like what we already have like every single way to communicate with technology ever, right? So it's like next thing's the brain, and I really want to control a VR game with my brain.
Did he say how long he thinks that's been out though? Because look, man, I got to tell you, they've been talking about VR being the next thing for 35 years.
No, you are 100% correct, right? But I mean, like obviously it's going to be the next thing. It's just a matter of when, right? And like when the technology is like really usable, that's when it will be it. Like current VR is pretty fun, but
do you have it? What do you have?
I have an index.
What do you have?
An index.
Index?
Yeah, the Valve index.
Yeah, I don't know what this is.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know it was called that.
Yeah.
The thing that
me either.
Half-Life is on.
I mean, it's on all of them, but yeah, that's what it's like built for. It has like the touch controllers and stuff. The display, very nice. I upgraded from a Vive previously. The display is like 3 times better, I'd say. It's just way more clear. It doesn't give you like as much motion sickness because it's actually has pixels in it. Like the Vive was very blocky and pixely. But like the index is very solid, very expensive though, which is why it doesn't have mass adoption. I think it's just more of a problem now with getting VR to be like easily like accessible to people. I think it's a big problem.
How
with
much
VR.
is it?
The index is $1,000.
Yeah,
That's why I'm
kit
saying
is
it's like very
1,000.
expensive.
Yeah.
It's a very like it's an enthusiast grade thing, right?
Yeah, that's not a casual one.
Yeah, not at all. Like that's something you would get if you're like, okay, I have the PC to run this, and I also have like the money to spend on an index. Because like you also have like really good specs to run an index. Because the screen is very high resolution. Games on VR are already more difficult to run because it has to render your world in like a fully physics-based environment. Like Boneworks is so hard on computers to run. Like even with the 2080 Ti, my frames will drop on like one of the levels in Boneworks. I forgot what it was, but it was one of the levels. It just has like a bunch of physics going on in it. Boneworks is great though.
I've never even heard of Boneworks.
Yeah, me either. Like I was just gonna say, like all of these things, I'm watching the episode chat to see what they are. Like this is completely
okay. So do you guys know about Gmod and like Half-Life 2 physics? So Boneworks is like the introduction to physics in VR. Like it's a fully interactable environment where you can just mess with anything. Like you can grab people, throw them on the ground. You can hit with the crowbar. They'll move as you think they would with an actual crowbar. If you shoot them, they have like a little bit of knockback when they get shot. Just stuff like that. It's a very immersive VR game. Highly recommend if you have a VR headset. It's honestly, I'd say it's my favorite VR game. Half-Life Alyx was good, but like I just like the physics too much. The physics are so fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have the PlayStation VR, and I have such trouble aligning it or whatever, like getting it to actually work properly. Just the setup. The most recent time I set it up, I hooked up all the things and it's like a whole rigmarole, and I could not get it aligned so that it made any sense to where like I was looking and where my hands were, and I just gave up. They did just announce that for the PS5, I guess they're developing a new VR system for that's supposed to be like better resolution on the screen.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And have better tracking. That's what I was trying to say. The tracking on the PSVR, I had a lot of trouble with.
Yeah, so tracking is like hit or miss. It depends what headset you get. So the index, you put 2 lighthouses in the corner of your room. And they're pretty easy to set up, like what I do, because I don't want to drill holes in the wall because I'm lazy. I get like shower curtains, and I stand them up in the corner, and I mount a bracket onto the shower curtains. And they just in my room, and I can remove them easily and move them around the house if I want to. But yeah, like with the Index and like a Vive, you don't really have tracking problems like that because there's 2 points in the room that are constantly shooting infrared lasers at you to know where you are. It's mainly an issue with stuff like the PSVR where it's one camera, or like an Oculus where you only have 2 cameras if you don't get a third. 3 Oculus cameras works. Or if you have a Quest, which is just Quest uses the cameras on the actual device of Quest 2, but it actually works really well. If you want to get into VR and you don't have a headset, a Quest 2 is
saying
solid.
The Oculus Quest 2 is good. Yeah. She's singing the praises of the Oculus Quest 2 in chat right
I've
now.
used it. It's solid. It's also wireless, which is a huge plus. And like all the games run on the Quest, which is really impressive because VR is very demanding. So it's very impressive that they even run on the Quest 2.
Is that the one Facebook owns?
Yeah, not a huge fan of what they've been doing with VR. So Facebook has been doing some stuff with VR where if you can't play games if your Facebook account isn't your real person.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
they have
creepy.
like a countdown for that happening. I think it's like 2023 or 2024, something like that, of when that goes into effect. But like, yeah, like Facebook, they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot with that one. Because who wants to play games as like the real person? You know, like that's so weird. Like part of the fun of Steam is the fact you can make your name anything you want.
It seems really unnecessary. Like, I mean, why don't they just, if they want to do that, why don't they make you like verify in some way?
I don't know. Like, I mean, I guess they do. Yeah, 2023 is the date that it goes into effect. I don't know.
Why are they the
Why is
creepiest
this-
company? Facebook
Because
is so
Mark
creepy.
Zuckerberg's a lizard man. Have you seen him? He stares into your soul. He shows no emotion. He's like literally a lizard.
Does he even have eyelids? That's my question.
I've
Does
never
Mark
seen him
Zuckerberg-
blink ever.
There's an image of him blinking in the chat right now, but it's got to be sped
I think
up.
that's edited.
Like, this has to be a 12-minute time lapse where he blinks once or twice in those 12 minutes.
What if Zuckerberg's just like AI? Like he's like the first actual AI and we just never knew. I'd believe it. But he does with Facebook, the way he manages an algorithms and stuff, it's awful.
Oh, man. Yeah. I just find that creepy that you have to have your actual person just to play a video game.
Oh, it's super creepy.
An account.
It's weird.
It's like, why not just also scan your driver's license and your social security number in order to play Half-Life 3?
Oh, we need to confirm your birthday. Please give us your social security number, a picture of your passport, and your driver's license.
Yes, blood and semen samples, please, so that you could play Mario Galaxy 2.
Yeah.
Like, what?
We also need some spit as well.
Frightening.
Yeah, I don't know why. Facebook is not the king of good ideas. That's for sure.
No, I'm not a big fan of them. And whenever they have those commercials where it says a Facebook company, to me, I'm like, you're doing the opposite of what I think you're trying to do.
Yeah, why would you like... Why would you advertise that as like a Facebook product? Most people know Facebook's
Like, that's
awful.
not a good thing.
Yeah.
What? That's not a value add to me. That's a value subtract.
Oh, APM put something really interesting in the chat. It just happened like today. Steam China version, like a specific Chinese version of Steam that works with the Chinese government. So like they track everything. They ask for personal details. They block a bunch of games.
Yeah, China. That's what I'm talking about. Why is Facebook like taking ideas from China?
Oh, I mean,
of, tracking people. Like that.
Dude, China
Doesn't China also like have ratings for human beings?
Yeah, so
for their own citizens?
China's got social credit, which is like basically any like little wrongdoing can be put in your social credit. And if you have a low social credit, you can't get things like jobs. Because like they're like, oh, we don't want to deal with you. You have a low social credit, and like very mundane things will get your social credit lowered. It's ridiculous. China.
What do you think your social credit score is?
I don't know. I mean, out of 10, probably like a 4. Like that's like optimistic because like China thinks anything you do is wrong. You breathe incorrectly there, you get thrown in jail. Like China's awful.
Yeah.
They got facial
Even
recognition everywhere too. Like it's so bad. You go to buy groceries, they scan your face.
Yeah, even Hong Kong, which you'd think is not going to be nearly what mainland China is. Yeah, like in the airport, you can't wear a hat. Like I was wearing just like a regular baseball cap in the airport, and like 3 people freaked out on me and made me remove it. I didn't even fully understand, but that was enough, to like I guess in head recognition. I was obscuring like 18% of it.
Like, that would scare me so much. If I went to like some foreign country and they're freaking out because I'm wearing a hat and they're like, no, that's bad. I'd be like, okay, where did I just land? Please take me back.
Yeah. It's like, 500,000 or 600,000 people are rioting this weekend. I think I understand why.
Yeah, no, it's totally justified. And like, it's a shame too, because like, it's bound to happen in Hong Kong. Like, it's bound to happen. There's no way they can shake off China, like, because there's no one else backing them, you know? Like, they're totally independent. Like, no one else is going to their aid. And then like, nothing's going to happen in China because like, that's already under lock. They already have everything under lock there. So like, it's very unlikely we'll see riots. And if there even are riots in China, we probably won't see them because their media blockage is so good.
Yeah. Do you know, like, what are some of the kind of strange things that affect your social credit score negatively? Do you know any?
I did a
I'm
while
scrolling
ago,
through Wikipedia to
but
see.
it's been a hot minute. But it's stuff that's like jaywalking. That would affect your social credit.
Oh,
Like stuff like that.
huh.
I don't know how rolled
testing.
out it is in China. It's like it's been being talked about for a long time. I would assume it's majority rolled out now though, because it's been so long. They also
Is jaywalking just not using a crosswalk?
yeah,
It's just
jaywalking is
crossing the road
illegally
wherever you
crossing the
want?
street, which is illegal anywhere you go, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you jaywalked before?
Yeah. If you live in New York City,
Your social credit's now
You jaywalk.
0. Congratulations.
jaywalk.
You are now unemployable.
The crosswalk.
nobody pays attention to the
No, jaywalking's really
pedestrian traffic
common.
signals.
I just like my only request is check the street. That's my only request.
Yeah. Don't get hit.
Yeah, but you can get in trouble for jaywalking.
Look both ways. This article says that as of March 2017, 137 commercial credit reporting companies were active on the Chinese market. So, when we think of having credit monitored, it's overwhelmingly financial.
Yeah.
And there are like 3 big credit bureaus. Like that. That's pretty much it, and then like Dun and Bradstreet tends to do business credit. I mean, there's a handful of these that have been developed over a couple centuries. And then 4 years ago in China, literally hundreds of companies trying to develop all manners of credit monitoring in your life. It's pretty strange. It makes me wonder, like, there was a website that allowed you to send your profile to ex-boyfriends and ex-girlfriends, and they would rate you so that, it was a dating website, and like all your exes could say, you're very smart or very funny or whatever. That was weird to me, but imagine it being mandatory to like leave a review on every relationship so the next person can know what they're getting into.
Yeah, that's creepy.
It's weird.
That's like, it's like you have a bad breakup and like they can just like talk shit about you and then everyone else can review it. Nope, I'll pass.
Right. And how would you behave in that relationship? Imagine something terrible happening to you. Like you're in a very, very bad one. You got to get out of it. You would have to make some shit up here. You'd have to be like, no, it's not you, it's me, even though the person like cheated on you with 9 people, just so that you wouldn't get dinged on the the relationship review.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I would that kind of stuff is going to be coming. It's going to be increasingly more common. And it's going to be like so under the radar that we're not going to see it coming, and then it's just going to slap us in the face. I think we'll be dead by then, though. I don't think it's going to be a huge problem for like our current generation because I don't think Western countries are typically far enough in the spy games to like do it. China though is definitely there. I could see like, I guess the US would do it some way, but they do it like covertly. They wouldn't make it obvious if they did.
But isn't this how the YouTube's monetization system works now with the self-reporting and stuff? Like they're definitely tracking how likely your new video is to contain a theme that triggers limited monetization based on your past videos. And they
like, definitely
I don't know.
do.
Yeah.
100%. Because when
it's effectively a social credit system.
when I upload on my main channel, because like most videos there are green, I never get like second guess most of the time. Like there's very few cases where they'll be like, oh no, this is demonetized. They reviewed it, it's fine. But on my second channel, videos are way more likely to be demonetized. Way more likely. Because majority of them on there, or not majority, but like 50-50 are monetized and demonetized. Because I put less like I guess like less curated content on there. Like it's more random. So it's like anything I feel like, pretty much. And like those get demonetized a lot more often. So they definitely do, though. 100%.
So we're in the system already.
Yep.
We're subject to the tracking.
Especially if, these people like us make a living online and then the platforms say things like your behavior off our platform is grounds for us, terminating your account on the platform. That even lends itself into kind of what you're talking about, Matt, with it or being already part of kind of like a social credit system to a degree, right? Haven't there been a few cases where somebody said something on another platform and all of a sudden, like, you say something on Twitter and then YouTube could say, well, we're getting rid of you on our site as well.
YouTube's not typically like that, but Twitch has a policy like that.
That's what I was thinking of.
I'm pretty sure Twitch has a policy
like
that. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure they've enforced it. I could be wrong on that, though. But it wouldn't surprise me because Twitch is pretty anal about really dumb stuff. So.
Yeah, we still don't even know why Dr. Disrespect was banned, do we? Does anybody know that answer?
No.
Is that just a meme?
Either he did something egregious or like Twitch banned him for no reason, but like who knows? Like it's so weird because Twitch always gives a reason for the bans, right? No one's gotten a reason. And it's like, why? Like why can't you just give a reason? Why can't anyone give a reason? It's so weird.
And he was so big on Twitch. It'd be like
that's
YouTube
why it's
banning
especially weird.
PewDiePie and nobody knowing why. It's pretty weird, and it's odd that no one talks about it. It's like, yeah, whatever.
I mean, like,
it's like really?
I think people just gave up. Like for the first month though, like everyone was like, "What happened?" Like everyone was making clickbait tweets. Like I know what happened to Dr. Disrespect, and like so. Yeah,
to the point where it became a meme. But now the meme's dead. Nobody found out what happened, and I guess everyone's just moved on.
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely like a weird situation. He's doing great on YouTube though, so like I'm sure he's not complaining. He would have been fine anyways if he didn't do anything, because like the dude's like had a very successful career just in general. Like he used to work on I'm pretty sure it was Modern Warfare. I'm not 100% sure on that, but he definitely used to work at a game company and he used to design maps. So, yeah,
I didn't know that.
I was watching one of his streams and he was like talking about how he wanted to design a map for a game, and he talked about how he used to do game design stuff. So,
well, speaking of game design stuff, before we started recording, we talked a little bit about CS:GO gambling, and I really wanted to ask you more about that because I don't know anything about this, and I would love to know everything about it. So, what is CS:GO gambling? I don't even understand how you gamble.
So you know about how CS:GO skins have value, like stupid, crazy values, right?
No. Okay. No. I know nothing.
I'm surprised. Okay, so in CS:GO, there's like specific values for specific items based on the rarity, because CS:GO has had item crates for like years, right? So like the most like prestigious one, I guess you could say, is the Op Dragon Lore, which I'm not exactly sure how much it costs, but it's in the thousands for the skin. And there's a lot of skins like that are just stupid rare that are worth thousands or even hundreds of dollars, or like tens of thousands of dollars, I should say. And like they're just really rare, hard to get skins. You can only find them in crates. Like you can't get them anywhere else unless you buy them up front for how much they cost. Knives typically are the most expensive things. And there's also different ratings for each knife as well. Like there's different skin patterns that can be generated, which make the knife either worth more or less money. It's crazy. There's also like different levels of wear on the skin. So there's like factory new, minimum wear, well worn, I think. And then like, I don't know the last couple, but the two you want to look for are minimal wear and factory new. And in some cases, minimal wear is worth less than factory new, which is weird because factory new is better, but it's all about rarity. So on CS:GO gambling, what you do is you go to a website and you input your skins. It's like you're gambling, like your tokens, right? And then you gamble with those tokens you got for other skins and other things like that, like prize pools, whatever you want to, whatever kind of gambling game you want to do. So, but skins in that game can be worth a ridiculous amount of money. But basically, you go to a website, you drop in your skins, you get like credits, and you gamble with those credits. Or you can actually just gamble with the skins.
That is so weird. That is so weird to me. Like who came up with this?
I can't think of anything else like that. Like there's nothing similar that I can think of.
I'm surprised you haven't heard of it. Like Tom Syndicate and T Martin. Like they had a whole website called CS:GO Lotto, and they would often do videos about it, and like they would rig it in their favor. And like usually YouTube sponsors either got paid through giving them skins to gamble with, or they got paid like some amount as well as skins to gamble with. And in some cases, they would give people they would just let people win. Like they would rig it so they would win. So their videos were good.
Didn't somebody do a video about this? Didn't Nerd City or somebody do a video?
This is like old news. Like the Pro Syndicate and Team Martin stuff's pretty old news.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's all.
So what can you gamble on now? I want to gamble after the end of this podcast. I want to gaming gamble in some way.
I couldn't tell you where to gamble, but you can still gamble CSGO skins. Yes, yeah? Like Valve has put so many things in place to try to stop it. None of them work. Like they circumvent all of them.
Like I'm a handful of years over 18, so it's less of an issue. But the big thing that made this a thing was under 18s effectively engaging in gambling. Like, do you think it's gambling?
Yeah. I also think loot boxes are gambling. I think it's all gambling. And I think like to think loot boxes aren't gambling is absurd. Like you're literally rolling to get something that's like rare, right? And in most cases, it's worth real money. Like in CS:GO, it's worth real money. Like if you roll a knife crate, because like there's specific crates for certain kind of items. Like some knives you can only get in like certain crates, right? If you're rolling for a knife crate, you're rolling for that specific knife. And the drop chance is like less than like 1, right? It's stupid rare to get a knife drop. So yeah, I think it's objectively gambling. Like I think all forms of loot boxes are like definitely gambling. And like CS:GO gambling is definitely gambling because you were gambling for like pretty big prize pools in some cases, like thousands of dollars prize pools. So I think it's like objectively gambling.
It sounds like gambling, like something is gambling if the outcome is worth something. So like, I think of something like on Hearthstone, which Mini Kudos has roped me into downloading the Blizzard client again to try to get me back in the World of Warcraft. I haven't gotten the game card yet, but so I played around a little bit on Hearthstone as I ate lunch and whatever, and you accumulate work you can pay to get packs of cards, and those cards are randomly generated. It's kind of like a pull on a slot machine. You open a pack and get 5 cards. Well, you can't sell them though. You can't trade them away. I'm sure you could build up a great account and sell that whole account just like people do on so many games. But what's the difference between that? Why isn't that gambling?
I think they're both gambling. I just think that when there's real money at play, it's like more obviously gambling. There's way more incentive if there's real money. Like if you're rolling for like cards in a Hearthstone or like Overwatch, you're rolling for skins, like you get free crates and like you don't make money off those crates, right? Like there's no chance of you making money. It's just like a fun thing. I think it's gambling still, but like not nearly to the degree of CS:GO, because in CS:GO you can roll and potentially win $10,000, like it's way bigger stakes in a game like CS:GO versus like loot boxes and Overwatch. I think they're both still gambling, but I think in CS:GO, it's just, you're playing for real money. Like it's a huge difference over like getting free loot boxes from like Overwatch.
How does the market decide that like a knife skin is worth 10,000 real dollars?
Rarity. So like there's like different skins, there's different rarities. Like Marble Fade, for example, is like a really rare knife skin and you're not likely to get it and it looks really good, right? But there's also like I don't know the names anymore because I haven't played CS:GO in a very long time, but there's like camo skins. There's also like a gut knife, which is just like a really shitty knife that everyone makes fun of you for if you have, because it's just it's like a poor man's knife. But like the karambit and like the butterfly knife, those are like the 2 most valuable. I know there's one above those, but like I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, like typically speaking, it's just rarity of the item. So like a dragon lore is really rare because you can only get it from cobblestone cases, which are no longer being like dropped. So you can't even get one. Like you can't buy a bunch of cobblestone cases and try to get a dragon lore. It's like impossible. You can buy cobblestone cases, but like they're stupid expensive because they're not dropped anymore. And the less there are, the more that people open, the more expensive they get. So the harder it is to get a dragon lore.
So this is primarily a status thing?
Yep. It's like Lamborghinis for kids who like CS:GO a little bit too much. Like if you have a knife in the game, so you're a cool kid.
Let's say you get $1,000 skin. What changes for you?
Absolutely nothing. It looks pretty.
What's the experience?
That's all it is. It looks pretty. All it is. And like and like depending on the knife too, you can flip them around. Like if you get a butterfly knife, there's like a flipping animation. You get a karambit, there's like a spinning animation.
So it's really looking cool to other people.
Yep. Also, I mean, it's just fun to play with.
Why wouldn't you, like, if you had $1,000 and gave like 50 people a $20 bill, it would be like the coolest thing anybody ever did. If you were like in 10th grade and all of a sudden, like you ordered 75 pizzas for the cafeteria at lunch. It would be like a landmark good guy thing.
That would be
do.
a much better way to spend your money than like keeping the skin. But most of the time, these skins increase in value. Like the more older ones, it's like butterfly knives and stuff increase in value typically in the game because like there's less of the case. So like the more rare the case is, the rarer the item gets.
When does this market crash though? Like when do people not like this game anymore? So all of a sudden this stuff's worthless.
I don't know. CS:GO's been going for a very long time. I honestly couldn't tell you. Like the game has had so many ups and downs. It's recently been breaking its concurrent player records. So like not anytime soon. That's for sure.
Wow.
But so on the Steam market, you can only put the money into your Steam balance, right? But there's external sites you can use that most people who are like trading like this do to sell it for real money. So like on Steam, if you sell it in the Steam library, you just have like the Steam wallet and that's it. Like you don't get cash from Steam. But if you sell it like OP
but you'd be able to
skins,
buy thousands of dollars a game.
Yeah.
So.
You can spend it, like you can convert it to real money, but you can't pull it out of Steam, right? So if you have like a $3,000 butterfly knife or something in CS:GO, you'd want to sell it in like OP skins or wherever to like get the actual cash so you can actually buy something real with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The only thing like that I ever remember was, I remember, Matt, you telling me a long time ago that people would sell World of Warcraft characters on eBay, didn't they?
The accounts. Yeah. So this gold as well. But yeah, depending on, I mean, before they made it really easy to level up, like, so you're talking about games being around for a while and people still being interested in them. Warcraft has been around, World of Warcraft has been around for a lot of years at this point. And at a point, it was kind of saturated and it was very tough for new players to come in and have, like, to reach any of the new content. Like, they kept adding levels. And if you needed to get to level, 100 or something, this was a huge grind, but it's not that much of a grind if you had the last expansion, you're getting there from 90, right? So they had to kind of auto boost people to get them up there. So before that happened, it was really valuable to a lot of people to take over an account that already had a maxed out hunter, a maxed out mage, a maxed out priest. So they didn't have the time to grind 60, 70, 80 levels or more on all of those characters. So you were basically paying for somebody's time. Throw in a bunch of gold, and you kind of had something worth quite a bit. China started to get involved in this and farm gold, and that market crashed. And then Blizzard started banning gold sellers and people who transferred large amounts and this and that. So, yeah, it's the markets have cropped up on stuff like this. I'm trying to think of one before World of Warcraft. I'm sure there were other accounts that
RuneScape.
RuneScape, yeah, and Tom mentions this in chat too.
RuneScape,
right?
That's happening in RuneScape now in Venezuela. Because the RuneScape gold's worth more money than the Venezuelan currency.
Oh.
So people are selling gold there for money because they make more money playing RuneScape farming for gold than actually working a job in Venezuela because their currency's in the shitter.
Wow. I did
That's
not
really
know
fascinating.
that. That's
showing that
crazy.
That fake money can be worth more, to somebody somewhere else than what your actual money is. Yeah,
their
and
currency
this was
is so useless now. Like, it's actually ridiculous how low the Venezuelan currency has crashed. Like, the dictator there has done a fantastic job at literally murking the entire currency. Like, it's so bad. It's worth like less than a penny.
Flight deals to. Yeah, I see flight deals to like Medellin. I got one the other day and almost booked because it was $280 nonstop round trip. Like, it is like Colombia and Venezuela. Medellin's in Colombia, but Colombia and Venezuela both, like, people don't really want to go there right now.
I would not want to go there right now. I would not. No. It's like I wouldn't want to go to Hong Kong or China. It's the same boat.
Yeah, and speaking of Venezuela on that, there is a chart, and I forget which company this was, but the per diem on corporate travel for this company, it had levels for where you were going. And, because like the cost of just meals in Tokyo are way more than the cost in like Pittsburgh. So it had this big ranking thing, and number one on the list was Caracas, because the per diems were like $400 a day, because it was going to cost business travelers quite a lot to get pretty decent meals right in Caracas.
That's insane.
Yeah, no, it's wild. And imagine going there, just being like, hey, how about I just transfer you some money in the World of Warcraft to pay for this dinner? You're like, oh,
I got 10 RuneScape gold for this McDouble. All right.
Right. Yeah, like people are joking about paying for things in Bitcoin.
What's the difference?
I'm going to say, yeah. Meanwhile, there's video game currency worth more than real life currency.
I mean, to be fair,
it's
like
outrageous.
Venezuelan currency is like a huge exception for majority of world currencies. Like it's the currency's actually useless right now. Like if you brought like $1 there, you'd get so much money in return. Like you get so many bills in return.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you the exact numbers because it changes every day, but like it's scarily low. But I mean, like, yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's not really worth anything. It's just what people assign the worth to be, you know? Like, it's not really worth anything. But is any currency really worth anything? Like, US dollar's not backed by gold anymore.
Right.
So.
And gold is interesting because you'd think, what if everybody got together and decided that gold wasn't really worth anything? Would it just not be worth anything? Yeah, and it kind of wouldn't. But gold is really unique in terms of being its elemental characteristics are extremely unique, and that's why it's kind of is where it is. You really can't fake it in so many different ways. Like its unique combination of density and luster and malleability. It's so easy to identify gold, and that's a major part of its value.
Yeah, it's a status symbol. I also I forgot to say, Dan put it in the chat. Gold is in electronics constantly. So.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah. Old computers have like $12, $15 of gold plating.
Yeah. Like gold's in like a lot of motherboard parts and things like that. Like I think pins in a CPU are gold, or at least plated, because it's good for electrical transfer or something like that. I'm not too certain on that.
Yeah, I drove by one of my neighbor's houses and there were at least 50 computers and monitors in a gigantic stack behind their house. Old ones. And then my brother was like, "Oh, what do you think?" Or maybe it was my mom, just like, "What do you think they're doing that?" I'm like, "Oh, that's." they're ripping out components.
Oh, that makes total sense. Yeah, reuse it, dude. Like, because gold's like not unlimited. Like, we're gonna eventually run into gold and be like, why we put all this shit in computers? We need this, or like, why we make it the jewelry? We need this for computers.
That's a concern right now with lithium. I was reading the other day that we're running out of lithium for lithium-ion batteries.
Yep.
No kidding.
I mean, not running out of it like tomorrow, but there's a finite amount of it, and we use lithium-ion batteries now to charge everything basically that we use.
Anything that's rechargeable is a lithium-ion because it's like the superior battery. That's why we use lithium-ion. I mean, eventually I think we'll shift off of lithium-ion to something else. I don't know what that will be. There's new battery tech in the news like every day.
We have to. That's what this article was saying. It was like, look, we can't keep going down this path. We've got to figure something else out here.
Or we asteroid mine, which is totally unlikely in the next 100 years.
Yeah, that's viable. It's viable eventually, though. But you know what? Everything that's had a projected shortage, and this is the deal with peak oil, like over the last a long time. I don't even want to quantify it. Almost since we started pulling oil out of the ground, people were like, "Oh, this is going to dry up. Like we only have a finite amount of oil." Efficiency gets so much greater, efficiency at both mining and the usage of whatever we pull out of the ground, that we kind of seem to come up with more most of the time. And I don't know if lithium is an exception to that, but generally we kind of get better at getting more of it.
Yeah.
So
it's like when I'm playing,
oddly skeptical.
It's like when I'm playing like a resource management game and I just keep finding more of the resource I need, but eventually I always run out and then I'm doomed. So I think it'll be like that for a while, where we keep finding more because we keep looking places. Like I'm sure there's a bunch in the bottom of the ocean we can find. Like I'm sure there's a bunch of resources under the ocean floor. We just don't have a real way to get to it. I think eventually we'll be able to get to it, and we'll have like a huge like boost in resources for like lithium and stuff like that. But I think overall we'll eventually just run out. and like we'll have to go to space or something to find them, or like reuse components and stuff. We should be promoting recycling more for electronics, because like the components in them like are really useful. We should have like a separate bin for it or something. Because
well, can't you take things to places like Best
yeah, but who
Buy
wants to do that? It's a lot of work, you know. Like,
well, the nearest one to me is like an hour away, you know, because I have this TV that stopped working, you know, and you can't just like throw. It's probably an LCD TV because it's not that new. I can't just throw that away. Like that's toxic.
Yeah, you're supposed to take them to like a
specific.
specific place to have them recycled.
Yeah.
But like most people don't, because it's a hassle, you know. Like if you're working, like if you and your husband are working like 2 jobs and you have like 2 kids, you're not going to want to be like, oh, let's take the TV to Best Buy and have them recycle it properly. They're going to be like, just throw it in the trash, you know? Like you're not going to deal with that.
Yeah. And I think there's disposal fees on a lot of this stuff too. And it's like, you know, $15, $25 or something like that for me to get rid of this broken TV. You know what's free? Letting it sit in my closet.
You know what's also
That's
free?
costing me
Throwing it in a
nothing.
dumpster and hoping no one knows I did it.
I know.
That is also free.
Free and irresponsible.
I never said it wasn't
Young
irresponsible.
man.
I just said it was free. There's a lot of free things that are irresponsible. Like, you know, taking things from a store without asking permission or paying for it is free, but it's also irresponsible and illegal.
That's true.
Oh my gosh.
There's
is true.
another video idea. The like 12 least ethical free things.
A car, a house, whatever you're willing to take. You want a free tank? There's one in the military base near you.
A kidney after you've drugged somebody.
Want a free kidney transplant? Pose with a doctor, do his surgery, take his kidney, and leave.
Oh God, I'm looking through the notes here because if you know, we need to recenter, you know, we can grab a question, things like that. And for some reason, my eyes, God damn it, my eyes landed on, do you have a coom cave?
I mean, like, define coom cave. I want to call anywhere in my apartment a coom cave.
I think Kevin put that on the list. So
I did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
define
Yeah.
coom cave.
yeah, so you're gonna have to follow this one up.
Okay.
You mean like a Weiss coom cave where there's like piss jugs and
Yeah,
shit?
yeah.
Absolutely
Yeah.
fucking not.
Weist introduced us to that term.
I practice what's called basic hygiene. All right. I don't have a body pillow with cum stains on it or anything like that. All right.
No, you have an oddly small chicken wing
Yeah.
pillow. With
That might
stains
have
all
stains
over.
on it, but that's another story.
Yes, barbecue sauce stains
It's
on
barbecue
it.
sauce, I promise. It's white because I like ranch too, okay?
Yeah. I don't know. I just assume naively, but also kind of like eagerly, that everyone in your age bracket, like every male, has a coom
No,
cave.
I mean, if that was the case, I think there'd be like a bigger problem. You know, like everyone would walk out of the fucking coom cave smelling like cum. Like like it's, and they'd have piss jars and shit. Like there's no way. I mean, no, I think most people don't have coom caves. I'm gonna be real. Like,
Everybody's got the piss jug under the desk, though.
I'm sorry,
Everybody's
I do
got
not
that.
relate to that. My bathroom's like 15 steps away. Like,
Yeah, mine too. You know, mine is attached. Like there's a door directly in it from the room that I work in. And I was thinking just today, like, you know how many extra steps I would have to take if you know, like in a year, if I had to go upstairs every time to go to the bathroom, like I would probably lose like 11 pounds
yeah,
just from having to walk to go to the
that
bathroom.
would be pretty annoying, to be honest. Like having to go upstairs consistently to go to the bathroom because, like, you just want to pee, you know? Like, you don't want to deal with exercise as well. You just want to take a piss.
Right.
One thing that I really did want to mention as we recenter for a second back to your YouTube channel is when I was watching earlier today, it struck me that what you're doing on YouTube, I think, is the natural evolution of America's Funniest Home Videos. Because
Okay, I can get behind
if you
this.
rewind, look, if you rewind to like 1990, or
All right, it's not that old. I
1989.
saw America's Funniest Home Videos when I was a kid.
You just rewound.
It is
Wild
that.
Spartanz
No, I mean,
back.
it might have started
You rewound
then,
him
but,
into
like,
his father's
It's
balls.
been around. I mean, I wasn't even alive when the number was 19. All right, I was born in 2000. So
Well, I want to
was
go to
voting
the
in 2000.
beginning because that's when it was first, ideated that this was a fabulous show. 1989, okay, was when it was first created. And it was a smash hit success show. That show was like it might have been the number one show for a while on TV, because it came at a time where people were just able to afford camcorders. Like camcorders actually were like a viable commercial product to own. Yeah. Okay.
I had a camcorder when I was like 8.
Yeah, it was like mid to late 80s was when all of a sudden people could kind of like normal average people could order and use camcorders.
Bro, it's still going.
So
the VCRs were cheap too. Like, everything hit the price point where the total package made sense for a family to get one.
For where all of a sudden people were recording, what today would get 0 views on YouTube, their baseball games and their like choir recitals and their, first birthday party and stuff like that. And inevitably some wacky thing happens, dad gets hit in the balls with a golf club and it gets sent to America's Funniest Home Videos. And it's the most popular show on television because it was the first time really that America got to watch other average Americans being just like them and having their like wacky moment,
it's like relatable content
for everyone.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I'd say,
and now I think that's what you're doing kind of, only you're hanging out with your friends, going through other people's kind of awkward moments, whether it's like a photo or a video. And then the audience gets to vicariously hang out with you as you joke about this stuff.
Yeah. I think that's actually like a pretty accurate descriptor, because it's like, basically I find stuff, I get them on a call and we record and we just take the piss, like we just talk shit, like we dick around. That's basically what it is. Also, I saw a question like earlier that actually relates really well to this. Is like, can I answer that? It's from Dan the Latch.
Yeah.
So he said, what would you say makes your content different from the whole reaction/commentary genre? And what do you think makes your work more transformed in other channels? I'd say just because like the content I get, like the videos and the pictures, are not the actual content. It's more of like a way to get people in, and then that content makes us go on like tangents about things and just talk about random stuff and dick around.
It's a catalyst for all of you guys to be you.
Perfect word for it. It's a catalyst, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because like I can't get people to watch a video if it's just us taking the piss in a call, right? Like there needs to be something to get people in. So if I do a video about unusual videos and majority of the video is us taking the piss and the other part's like just videos, like most people still watch that. Even if like 20% of the video is what they actually clicked. So,
and does it help? I mean, it's got to help, right? To have a decent talent pool to pull other people in.
I am so thankful that my friends deal with me asking to record every fucking week, like because they don't have to do it. Like it's totally up to them. So I'm really grateful that they decide to do it every week when I ask. But yeah, having the talent pool of people that are just naturally mesh well together and naturally funny is like great. Because like it's less common than you think. Like you kind of get tainted when you're a YouTuber and you assume people are like the way they are, or like most people are like the YouTubers you speak to, right? But it's not the case. Like most people online are like pretty like timid. They're not as outspoken about things. Like they won't pipe up. But like YouTubers like talk a fuck ton, first of all, and like they're pretty loud and rambunctious about stuff. But like randos are pretty quiet, and you don't expect it as a YouTuber because you're always talking to people who are like similar to you in that regard.
And how do you balance that? Because everybody in kind of the WildSpartanz universe has like a reasonably big personality.
Oh yeah, I love big personalities. I love people being themselves.
But it works so well.
I mean,
like it's like a super group. It's like like the Rat Pack or something, where you get like 4 incredibly famous people who on their own right are headliners, but when they're together, somehow it completely flows and works.
You're making my stuff sound way better than I think it is, so I appreciate that. Thank you. But it's more of like, when it comes to like picking people for videos, it's more of like certain people I know have better chemistry than others. Like Weiss and Sumito have great chemistry together. Their humor is pretty similar, and they work really well together. Yeah. Me, Anna, and Bisley have like, I'd say, the best chemistry out of the people I know. Macro and Bisley have good chemistry. Condi and Bisley have good chemistry. Anna, Macro have good chemistry. Like everyone just has like a good match, So it's like it's picking the matches for it. Like I say a lesser match would probably be like probably Sumito and Bisley wouldn't click too well. I haven't tried it, but like I feel like they just wouldn't. I feel like their humor would be a little bit too different for each other. But yeah.
Could that be a positive though? Could it be so
It
such
could be
a bad, awkward clash that it's amazing to witness?
I'd have to try it. I haven't tried because I felt like the chemistry wasn't there. I could be wrong though. But yeah, it's more of like picking people who work well together. And then like as well, Anna just said in the chat, topics matter as well, like of what you do. Like Weast and Sumito are great for fixing your memes, which I need to do again. But like basically fixing your meme is where I ask people to submit garbage on Twitter, and holy fuck, it's garbage. It's so garbage. I have to curate. There's so much bullshit to find anything good. But they work really well for that because like they're really good at just like thinking of random shit to make into something that's also completely random, if that makes sense. Like they take a stupid image and then like, okay, we can make this stupider. And that's what they do. So
yeah, there's definitely like it's strange because they have to understand each other, but they have to be complementary as well. And we've talked about that on this podcast a whole lot, going back really to the very beginning, because like even on this, Kevin and I are extremely different people. We approach things differently. We have very different skills, but it's complementary without being
abrasive.
There's not. Yeah, exactly. It's not abrasive. It's not. It doesn't like butt into itself and slow things down. It's just not like that. And that's tough to really engineer with the sheer volume of people that you've got. And in the episode chat, Anna says the chemistry is so important.
Oh, it is.
And
absolutely.
I wonder if that's the majesty, is that you're like the grand chemist here that, figures out who pairs the best with.
I mean, the people I speak to tend to like already be in like friend circles. So most people already have like a good match. But like it's, there definitely is picking people for certain topics and picking people who work well together for sure. And like, if I got someone who wasn't in my circle on like a video, I would have to like I'd have to be very careful with who else I got them on with. Because like as you said, chemistry has to like match, and like that person may not match at all with one other person. So like if I do a video with somebody that I haven't spoken to, first of all, I really don't. I think I did it like once, and it was with Captain Sparkles, and it's because like he's so busy. And like we were down to both do like a collab. So, but if I got somebody else on that I never spoke to, it's difficult to curate to them because I don't know them personally. Like I've seen their content, but that's not who they are. So it's like I have to pick pretty carefully with that. Most of the time, it's people I speak to on a regular basis.
Have you ever completely swung and missed on this?
Oh yeah. I couldn't name you an example because it's been a hot minute, but like I've definitely gotten two people in the video recorded and been like, okay, these two people, me and this topic were not a good match.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like it would just happen now and again.
Yeah, it's mainly topics that can throw it out of whack. Because if I do something really weird, like it's experimental, it's a lot harder. But yeah, like it can happen. It's very occasional though.
All right. And again, Anna's saying the worst is when the vibe falls flat. There's only so much editing you can do.
Yeah,
right?
There's only so much I can like splice together to like shorten or like make more sense. I can only do so much. I do have everyone record their own audio tracks though, because it makes it a lot easier. If someone said something, I can mute the other person. Or if someone said something and it's like the response is like delayed, I can move it over. If I just want to like rearrange a conversation entirely, I can do that too. So it gives me a lot of options.
Yeah, we're going to mute your entire track.
Oh, it's going to be a great episode, man. Yeah.
It's just going to be, and we're just going to take it all out. And it's going to be 17 minutes of Kevin and I just asking each other questions that we don't answer.
Just no one here. But Great Unknown featuring no one.
The guestless episode.
Yeah. Do you do a lot of stuff on their channels as well?
Oh yeah, I mean it's
come on yours.
So like the people I do stuff mainly for would be Bisley and Anna, and then I do a lot of stuff on Twitch as well, like just gaming and things. Like Macro does a lot of Among Us stuff. I'm in there most of the time. Stuff like that. Yeah, it's definitely a give and take kind of thing. Yeah, I'd feel awful if I didn't do stuff for them. It's just like, no, I don't want to be in your fucking channel. Just go on mine. That'd be so awful.
Do you see doing this 5 years from now?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know. That's like probably not. I'll probably switch to something else. Come up with something else because I mean, like I did it before. I'm not like afraid to switch content direction. My only thing is if you switch content, you got to do it slowly. You can't just like bomb rush new content. You have to like slowly sprinkle it in. And then like sprinkle it in the stuff you're currently doing, and eventually people will jump on that content as well, and you can slowly start phasing out the old one if you do want to switch content. You can't do a hard switch though. That will absolutely murder your channel. I would never recommend a hard switch to anyone because it'd be so jarring to your viewers. But like, I don't know. I don't know what I would do in 5 years, but like, I couldn't tell you. It's like, it's totally dependent on how I feel down the line. It's like totally 50-50 in my mind.
Well, the whole thing has kind of gradually come out of nowhere for all you guys, hasn't
it? Define thing?
Like pretty much the sustainable element of this, like actually being able to pay your rent with.
Mine has been, mine's been very
content.
gradual because I've been doing this since I was like, well, my channel's from October. Hold on, let me double check this. Yeah, October 22nd, 2012. So I was 12 years old.
Yeah, so you were 12 years old. That's
I had
insane.
other channels before.
What is that, 6th grade? You were in 6th grade?
Yeah, this channel was made in
YouTubing?
6th grade. I was messing around with YouTube stuff though since I was like a little kid. Like when I was fuck, I don't know what age. Because like I always remember stuff in like school grades. That's how I remember stuff. So I'd say like 4th or 3rd to 5th grade, I was like messing around with a camcorder with my brother. Like a Sony Handycam. So I've always done stuff regarding videos. Like ever since I was a young kid. And then my dad got me into computers as well when I was a really young kid. Like when I was like probably 3, he let me mess around with his old computer, just doing dumb stuff like hitting the keyboard like a dumb monkey, and just messing with it. And then like when I got older, he would let me use his computer, things like that. When I was I think 11, he helped me build my first gaming rig. Like I saved up half, he paid for the other half, because I was a kid. Like I had to work like odd jobs that I was given by people around me, like friends of family. So it wasn't super easy for me to get money that young. So like I saved up, I think like $400. It was like $800 rig or something like that back then.
That's pretty good.
I remember the specs. It was an AMD 770 GPU, and it was a AMD Bulldozer 8350. And I think it had 8 gigs of RAM. And let me tell you, the Bulldozer processors
It was a
suck.
monster at the time.
They suck. They're awful. They're so shit. I wish I got Intel. They're so bad. Like, Bulldozer sucked. It was just because nothing was optimized for multi-core. So like even if like you could utilize the cores, like even like Battlefield 3 was like dual core. Like nothing was really more than 4 cores or more than 2 cores back then. So Bulldozer was indeed shit. But yeah, I've always messed with computer stuff and always really been in technology. I'm not like as in tune with what's like new with computers specifically now. It's more of like curated interest. Like I'm really interested in like the future of AI, robots, VR. Like I want to be able to full dive into a VR game before I'm dead. It's that's my hope and dream. All right, I want to be able to like turn off my eyesight, wake up in a game world. That's what I want.
How long do you think you're
I'm gonna probably be dead at its current rate. Like honestly, it'd probably be like 60. Because like we have just delved into like brain interface stuff and how the brain interacts with your body and certain things. Like in the Gabe Newell interview on IGN, he talked about like they clearly have done like a little bit of research into it. Like he talked about how feeling cold is really hard to replicate because your immune system is involved in the feeling of being cold. But like movement is all in your brain.
Okay.
So like some things are easy to map, some things are not. So like feeling cold would be one of the things that are hard to map because you'd have to trigger the immune system.
Yeah.
I don't think I want a video game to make me cold. Like I'm already cold. I hate being cold. It's freezing here.
I think I'd want like a little chill, you know, like you want it like not like freezing, obviously, right? Like I don't want to be like 20-degree weather in the game, but like, you know, maybe it's like a little breeze, you know, a little nice breeze. Yeah. It's like a winter tundra. It's like, hey guys, it's kind of cold. Just like that.
Gosh. Yeah. Well, we have some questions from our patrons that we would love to throw at you before we let you get out of here today.
All right, shoot away. I am ready.
Yeah, we got a couple good substantial ones. The first one is from Microspeen.
Micropeen?
And Microspeen. I do believe it's a play on words, but I'm not gonna speak for him. So he asked about like the interpersonal, kind of relationships on this, and I double checked. I shot on a message to make sure this was okay to ask, because he wanted to know if it was true that you and KingAni used to live together. He couldn't remember, but he thought he saw that.
Yeah, we lived. So what happened was I lived in California. I hate that state. I hate that state with a passion. I lived in California.
Where in like, was it north,
I lived
south?
near San Francisco, so north. Yeah.
Okay, because we've had like 7 consecutive episodes where guests have unprompted ripped on LA.
Oh, LA is a shithole too, but San Francisco is also a shithole. Like, they're both bad. Like, LA is just like stupid traffic. It smells like human fucking feces everywhere. And it's like, it's just terrible. Like, the beaches aren't even nice anymore because there's so many people all the time. It's so overpopulated. Then San Francisco is pretty much the same way too. It also smells like human shit half the time. So,
but you had kind of a, not quite a content house, but was that an asset, or was it difficult to have, 2 people kind of doing similar stuff?
So the plan was to hopefully make it a content house. So like we initially moved in with the hope that other people would like also want to eventually move as well. We currently still live in the same state, Colorado. So basically we both wanted to move from our home states, and we were like, okay, what should we do? We're like, okay, how about this? Instead of getting 2 apartments, we just get a house. And we're like, okay, that works. And then we did that for a year. Our landlord was like a bitch. Huge bitch. Hated her.
What is there to complain about? What is there to complain about?
Because dumb shit. If I
look at people like you two, I think, okay, these people like eat, sit at a computer, exactly hang out.
She was so fucking anal about stuff, and I'm like, I'm a hermit. I barely leave my room. Like, what do you have to complain about?
This is what
she would
we
complain
do.
about things like she would. First of all, she would make not unannounced, but she would visit like stupid often. Like in that year we lived there, she probably came over 6 times, which is annoying, right?
That's a lot.
And it's like once or twice I'm fine with.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted like a yearly check of the place, like that's totally fine.
Sure. Oh yeah, you got to make sure things are going
6 times? Yeah. No, that's too absurd. It's probably more, to be honest. It was a lot.
It's a lot.
But she would drive by the house occasionally and complain about things like the grass not being cut as short as it should be.
She says monthly.
Yeah, it was
chat.
a long time.
She's saying it was monthly. So you're talking
annoying.
10, 12 times. That sucks.
What else about? She would. So like one time she came over and she was like, "Oh, you guys aren't vacuuming enough." And I was like, "How often are we supposed to vacuum?" And she's like I think she said twice a week. It wasn't weekly. It was twice a week. She wanted us to vacuum twice a week.
But I mean, vacuuming isn't a big deal. Like, it doesn't damage anything. If you go a month without vacuuming, it's probably not great, but it just means when you do vacuum, it sucks up more dust. It doesn't ruin the floor.
So her logic was that you're supposed to vacuum frequently to keep the carpet like from flattening, right? And like apparently the carpet we had was very flat over the short time we lived there. And that was confusing because it wasn't.
You got to jostle the pile of the
and
the
it's
carpet.
like if your carpet's so cheap,
you realize that was a renter's responsibility.
If your carpet's so fucking cheap that we have to vacuum twice a week to keep it puffy, you invested in the wrong carpet. All right, that's not going to happen. No, like no one's going to want to abide by that rule. It's like, oh fuck, man, I missed a day of carpeting. Oh no, like I missed a day of vacuuming. The world's over. But no, she was awful. So then we moved to our own separate apartments, and like we just like I like living alone more. Period. So
okay,
I think it's been better. I think she's in the same boat too. But yeah, so now we live in.
I think that landlord should not have carpet. Like, just get hardwood floors.
But they were in the bedrooms.
You've upgraded your life and reduced your stress by 1,000.
The hardwood floors were in the bedrooms, or not the hardwood floors. The carpet was in the bedrooms.
I mean, you could put hardwoods in the bedroom.
Yeah, I know. I would have preferred that because she was bitchy.
But foot traffic in a bedroom is really low. There's no carpet flattening that's happening in like a 3-4 day period with the however many steps in your bedroom. Like, you just probably aren't moving around in there.
And like, ever since I moved to this apartment, I've just noticed that everything here is like way higher quality than shitty house. Like the hardwood's higher quality, the carpet's higher quality. Like the carpet it doesn't look flat at all. And like I haven't been vacuuming it nearly as much as I should be, probably. But like with hardwood too, it's like we would drop something, like nothing that heavy, and like the floor would dent in. and like it doesn't happen in this apartment. But now we both live in apartments that just happen to be stacked. She's literally in the apartment below me. So like when we were looking at apartments, this room design only had 2 left, and they just so happened to be like stacked. So yeah,
that's cool. I'm not going to go into this because we're doing questions and all that stuff. But I had a very bad landlord once who it was in a place called Alston, which some of you know, and Kevin spent some time there. It's in Boston, and an article came out maybe 10 years after I lived in that spot in Boston Magazine. I'm not going to say the guy's name because I don't want to trash somebody by name, but if you Google Lord of the Styes,
wait, what?
The article will
Lord
come
of the Styes?
He was, the question in like the subhead of the article was whether he was Boston's worst landlord. We didn't have any serious problems, but it wasn't good. So I think if you rent, you're at that age, and then you get in your 20s, whatever, and if you're renting the whole time, you're eventually going to have one landlord worth telling stories about.
Yeah, that was the first time that I ever rented, period. So that was not a good experience. The landlords here at this apartment are like great though. They're just super mellow. They just don't care.
Well, that's an upgrade.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next one is, what is your biggest regret in doing research or reacting to a video? There's got to be something that you look back on and think, oh, I should have done that, or I wish I hadn't.
I couldn't name you anything like off the bat because like nothing really sticks out as like truly horrible. Let me think for a second. Like for finding images or what specifically? Like finding stuff.
I think I took this to be general on the content, and I saw it both ways too. Like I think some people have regrets over videos they made. They have regrets over things they didn't capitalize on too. So I think it can cut both ways.
I'd say I don't really regret anything I've made in recent years. Like there's nothing that really pops out as like a huge regret. I would say like okay, in terms of like, let me read the question again. I'm sorry. This is like I was not prepared to answer this question.
No, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Kind of the biggest regret in, the process of doing research or, reacting in
for
a
my
video.
current lineup of like content I have posted, honestly, cursed SpongeBob images. That shit was so hard to find. Like it was ridiculous. It took hours to find. Like
you think
no, it's
everywhere.
not. It's really not. Like you see like a few memes on Twitter here and there, right? And after that, there's nothing else. The tip of the iceberg is all there is. There is nothing else. It was a lot of searching.
I imagine some of the best stuff. Yeah, like some of the best you wouldn't really be able to show.
It's stuff like that. Like honestly, like any like you wouldn't expect it, but like any like name brand like show or like game is like really hard to find good shit for. Like even the Among Us memes video I did, pretty hard to find good shit that would actually like flow with the content. Like it was not easy to find that stuff.
You'd think it would be almost too easy. Like so easy that everybody was doing videos.
No, you think it wouldn't be too, then you go looking and you're trying to find stuff that fits in line with what you want, and you're like, these are all garbage. And then you keep looking and looking, you don't find anything. Yeah. Also, like honestly, Amazon stuff's getting hard now too, because I've hit like a lot of the rabbit holes. So it's just like generally speaking, I'd say like research is like the hardest thing. I would say curating content. I wouldn't call it research. It's not high quality enough to be research. I don't think. I'm not like researching a paper.
Well, that curation is what makes your stuff happen, like if you weren't good at like meticulous.
If I didn't grow up using Google, it would be very difficult.
If you chose badly and you weren't very good at finding it in the first place, this channel doesn't exist.
100%.
Yeah. Well, this is cool. This is this question is good. It's about a little bit into the YouTube future here, because shorts on YouTube have started to drop, and shorts are kind of like mini videos,
like
Instagram, TikToks, Instagram stories. Yeah, a lot like TikToks. Yep. And also clipping is coming to streaming on YouTube the same way that you can clip on Twitch. Yeah, that's a game changer. So Tom wants to know that with these new features, where do you see your content going, and like how does this change everything in the next year?
This is actually a really good question, because like just like 4 to 3 days ago, I discovered shorts. I was looking into stuff and I'm like, oh, what's this thing called shorts? Never heard of it before. And I found it and I was like, what? When does this exist, right? So like now, actually on my second channel, I'm uploading like tests to see what happens of like clips from the original videos reformatted to be vertical, to like see if they pick up in shorts at all. And I'm like experimenting with different types of content on there to see like what seems to work best for shorts. But yeah, shorts are like really interesting. And it's definitely something I think most people should take a hold of currently. Like while it's like going up, because like you can just kind of take stuff from your current content, because I think typically speaking, a viewer won't mind watching a clip again if they've seen the original video or like a stream. Because I've watched clips and highlights of streams and videos that I've watched before, because like they're only demanding like 30 seconds of my time to watch a funny clip. Like I'm not gonna like be upset about that or like not watch it, right? So I think that like I think it's definitely gonna be something that blows up. I think it's gonna keep going, and I think eventually, like in the next 3 to 6 months, most people will be doing clips or like shorts, I guess. And then like for clips on streaming, I think that's really good, because like honestly, like Twitch is like not creator friendly. They really aren't. Like you stream on Twitch and like I think most of the time you're just worried about something getting you banned. I think that's the majority of Twitch streaming. Because
well, look at the Metallica thing that happened the other day, where they started playing like 8-bit music instead of the Metallica song on the the concert. Did you see that?
I saw that. That was crazy. Yeah. So Metallica was doing a concert, a live show on Twitch, and somehow Twitch like DMCA'd them.
The stream.
And so you couldn't hear them play because they were playing copyrighted music, their own music. It was Metallica.
Their own music.
Yeah, Twitch is just like, they don't know what they're doing, man. YouTube solved the copyright stuff. Like, okay, I want to say solved like entirely, right? But they've like fixed it up a lot, and it's like, it's not really a problem anymore. Like the copyright stuff can be a problem. Like sometimes you'll get one guy who's just like really upset that his video's in a video or something, and he'll strike the content. Mainly, honestly, most of the time striking, they don't know what it does. You know, like I've talked to a lot of people who have like strike stuff. I want to say a lot. I've been like 2. I've gotten like strikes before from people who just like were like, hey, I'd rather not have this clip in the video, and like I'm totally happy to remove shit. Right? If you want something removed, just email me. I'll remove it. They strike, they didn't really understand what it did, you know? And it's like, that's like all I really see now. But striking used to be like a huge problem. And it's really toned down now. So like, I think YouTube's just like kind of superior right now for creating content, period. Like their streaming services are good too. And streaming on YouTube has way more benefit if you're like a newer creator, because it actually puts your shit in search. Twitch doesn't have an algorithm like that. It won't recommend your stream. Well, at least like YouTube.
This is what I keep hearing, is that Twitch has no discoverability the way YouTube does. And that is absolutely critical if you're new or small. People have to find you. And there are so many extremely talented people who are just starting, or they've not put together a gigantic audience, but they're really good at what they do. If nobody can find them, then they got a problem. What's the best they can do on Twitch? Like play a popular game and hope people find
or hope
it?
you get rated or something. That's like pretty much it. Like Twitch doesn't have discoverability. The only reason to stream on Twitch is frankly the community aspect with like emotes and things like that, and like the culture. Because like Twitch undeniably has its own culture separate from YouTube, right? But like regardless,
I do like it. I like using the website. I like watching like a lot of the people here. Stream on Twitch, and I love watching their streams during the day. Like just yesterday, Jelksies, who's not in chat tonight, but he's in the infantry. I love watching his streams, and just the format of the whole thing on Twitch is very friendly to me, like visually. I like their system, but I understand that, I found him, through Twitter and then eventually this community. Would I have found him naturally on Twitch? There's no way. Oh. There's no way. And I love
I think Twitch is great for the viewer, but like terrible for the creator. Because like I think it really just is a game if you're a creator of like avoiding getting banned. So I think YouTube giving people more outlets to make streams, like I think that's great, because like YouTube is like the only valid competitor for Twitch, right? And Twitch is the only valid competitor for YouTube. I'd say like there's nothing really competes. And like even Twitch is like nowhere near. Like there's no YouTube, there's no like video part of it, So I think it's good that YouTube's like stepping up their streaming game to like put pressure on Twitch, because like the website from a creator standpoint, kind of a joke. Like you can't play anything copyrighted, or you risk your channel getting removed. It's just stupid. Like on YouTube, they just claim it and you move on with your day, right? On Twitch, it's like, hey, you play copyrighted music. Well, I'm sorry, but your channel's gone. It's just gone. I don't know what to do about it. And then on top of that,
and it's a much better
Twitch also
to say to
Twitch
somebody
made a statement a while ago. They're like, hey guys, remove all your VODs and stuff to avoid DMCA. That turned out to be bullshit. It didn't matter.
Yeah. People went through a lot of work to wipe that stuff and be compliant. But it's one thing, like you were just saying, it's one thing on YouTube to say, you can't make a buck off of this because the rights are really held elsewhere. But so we're going to transfer that ad revenue and whatever, but it's not going to crush your channel. It's not going to harm you community building. Everything is fine there. You can continue to do it even if your stuff is claimed. But yeah, on Twitch, you hum the wrong song and your career's over.
Yeah, Twitch just feels very volatile and it just feels unsafe to stream on, in my opinion. Like, I think anything can get you banned. Like, and on top of that, too, if there's like a genuine mess up, like somebody links you some shit you're not supposed to look at on stream because it's against TOS, right? And you click it and you immediately close it. That shouldn't get you banned. They should just be like, hey, make sure you double check next time. Don't let it happen. But it bans people. And it's so dumb. It's like, just be understanding about it. Like, Jesus. Like, I don't think they try to show their fucking dick on stream, Like, I don't think that happened.
When you go out on Twitch, when you finally shut the Twitch account down, is that what you're going to do?
What? Show dick on stream? No. I think go hard fast.
Reveal the little Spartan.
It'd be a hell of a way to go out, though. That's for sure. No, but it's just stuff like that.
It's a form of a mic drop.
Yeah, it's just
mic drop.
It's just stuff like that makes Twitch just feel like so volatile and like unsafe as a creator, because it's just like they get so pissy over anything,
Yeah. Well, before we let you go, we have one more really important question for you, and we like to ask this of our guests before we bid adieu, and that is, what is your fursona?
Do you ask this like everyone?
Most everybody.
Most everyone, yeah.
I haven't really thought about it, right? But I think that the most honest answer would be one that I haven't thought about. So honestly, it would probably just be like a wolf, but like that's so generic. I know the wolf is like super common. But it's like, I feel like that's when I would pick.
I don't think there's any shame in a wolf.
I mean, the reason I'd pick wolves because like I like dogs, right? And I think dogs look badass in some cases, especially like wolves and huskies and stuff. So I think that's why I'd pick a wolf.
Well, why not be a dog?
Because like, why would I be a dog? It's less cool. A wolf is like a badass murder machine.
You want to be the super dog?
Yeah, like a dog can be anything from a German Shepherd to a Chihuahua. Okay, that's a very wide range. A wolf is a very specific thing.
And what color? Do you know what color it would be? Because with a fursona, you could be a pink wolf.
Oh,
it would
totally be
wolf.
white with red eyes. Totally white with red eyes.
It's kind of intimidating.
Scary wolf.
It is a bit scary. Yeah, you're kind of going for the throat.
Yeah, it's like some emo anime boy vibes.
Awesome. Well, WildSpartanz, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Definitely check out his channel. It is the modern evolution of America's Funniest Home Videos, but really he does such a great job curating and finding all of this stuff for you. It really reminds me a little bit of like the early days of Vsauce, which was very curation heavy, and kind of like doing the work of finding funny stuff on the internet for you. But look, this man is putting 10 hours of subtitling into these videos, give him a shot. It's backbreaking.
Yeah, man. Manual labor is tough.
It is.
My posture's gotten so much worse since I started this job.
All of us turn into a question mark after about 6 years on the job. Our spines just curve and recurve.
It's true. It's true. But yeah, check out WildSpartanz. Check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/thecreateunknown. You can hang out with us every Wednesday night here on Discord. Just join the Discord. Just start there. Become a member of
join
the
Discord.
That is,
Do it.
There you go. There you go. It's totally free. We're all friendly here. You can just hang out with us. And or if you just want to support the show and you want to be a part of making sure that more episodes happen every single week for you and you alone, just go to patreon.com/thecreateunknown. Again, WildSpartanz, thanks, man.
No, thanks for having me on. It was a great time. We talked about a bunch of random shit.
Right.
That's the best kind of dog.
You're the perfect guest for that, for sure.
Absolutely.
All right. We will see you, Space Cowboys.
Thanks for listening to The Create Unknown. We'd like to extend a huge thank you and congratulations to the Tots and Dumpster crew who save tiny little lives every month. A tremendous shout out to our elite baby gang: Trevstead, Boromir, Bot Dogs, Chinchilla, Isaac, Conrad, James, Jeff Davis, Patrick Pister, Baseweight, and Dojangles. And thank you to our grizzled, battle-hardened child infantry: Jen Mefisanti, Kevin Menard, Mikhail Steinke, Risebread, Sean Malone, Triple Question Mark, Monahan, Ryan Kinder, Sheep, and Maruko. Thank you as well to our producer and editor Ben Webster and to our media manager Dan Yosua. The Create Unknown is an Unknown Media production.